Sure. Here's a rewritten version of the story in natural American English, keeping the same plot, characters' essence, and emotional arc within 3,500 characters, with new names and no section breaks. 10 nannies had come and gone from the Maddox house. Each one fled before sundown. But Calla Pierce didn't run. She walked through the gate, sat in their ruined living room, and stared those boys down like she wasn't afraid of ghosts. Because in Oak Hollow, they didn't whisper about haunted houses. They whispered about the Maddox boys. 6 years old, born minutes apart, Rowan, Silas, and Beckett Maddox weren't sweet or misunderstood. They were a storm with bones. Their mother had collapsed suddenly in the backyard, mid-song, watering her garden. No illness. No warning. Just gone. Their father, Everett Maddox, used to own half the county's farmland. Now, he mostly stared at walls and left raising 3 feral sons to whatever poor soul answered the ad taped to the post office window. One woman ran barefoot. Another was found sobbing at a gas station, her blouse torn, covered in jelly. When Calla signed up, nobody recognized her. She had deep brown skin, a steady walk, and a look like she wasn't going anywhere she didn't choose. When asked if she was sure, she just smiled and said, "I've seen worse." Inside, the house felt like a bruise. The boys didn't speak. Rowan tore apart a remote with a spoon. Silas watched from under the table like a stray. Beckett chewed on his sleeve and said flatly, "You'll be gone by dinner." But Calla sat down on the floor. No baby voice. No threats. Just calm. "I'm not here to tame you. I'm here to stay." That cracked something. Not broke it, just shifted it. She cooked. She didn't ask permission. She made pancakes like they were the only thing holding the room together. Rowan tried to flood the bathroom. Calla waded in without blinking. "You think I'm scared of water," she said. "You think I'll run? You're gonna have to try harder." And then, when he finally whispered that his mom was humming when she died, Calla didn't offer comfort. She just said, "I believe you." Each boy was a different kind of damage. Silas admitted he couldn't remember his mother's voice. Beckett said he pretended not to hear her cry in the laundry room. And Rowan? Rowan carried guilt like a sword, ready to stab anyone who got too close. Calla didn't dodge the blade. She told them about her own son, one in Florida building houses, one in prison because she refused to lie for him. "Pain doesn't scare me," she said. "Running does." Everett, distant and broken, finally joined them one day with a broom. No speech. Just sweeping. The boys froze like seeing a ghost. Calla nudged a box and joked, "You sure you know what you're doing?" Everett smiled for the first time in years. But it wasn't all peace. One night, Rowan shoved Beckett hard enough to bruise. The hallway turned into a warzone, fists up, fear everywhere. Calla stepped in between the chaos like a wall that wouldn't move. "You're not in trouble for being angry," she said. "You're in trouble for hurting someone because you didn't know where else to put it." That night, the boy who swore he didn't care cried on the hallway floor. Later, Calla asked them to tell stories about their mom. They sat on the rug and took turns like kids again. There were no neat endings, just meatloaf she hated, songs she sang when she was tired, and guilt that had never found a home. Everett listened. Then he said, "I never went back in the room. After she died." The boys looked at him, and for once, didn't look away. Something began to grow after that. Not forgiveness, not yet, but space. They worked in the garden. They ate as a family. They laughed at dumb jokes and passed the butter without being asked. When Everett offered Calla double pay to stay, she shook her head. "This isn't about money," she said. This is about not quitting just because it's hard. He nodded. For once, someone understood. And maybe the story isn't tidy. Maybe it never will be. But the morning after that storm in the hallway, the garden finally showed a bloom. A marigold. Ugly little thing. Resilient. Rooted. Kind of like them.